Okay, we're going to have a brief introduction to angles in the coordinate plane. We'll be discussing these more in depth in the next lesson, but for right now, what I need you to know is that angles rotate from the x-axis and you go this way counterclockwise. So then this angle right here is theta. This right here is called the terminal side. And this side over here on the x-axis is called the initial side. And so you rotate this initial side and then up to the terminal side to get that theta. Now you still have quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3. So that prior knowledge is still the same. It does not change. The same with the other things that you have been learning in the past. You seem to forget what you have learned in the past. Okay, don't do that. So this is still quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4. You still have x, y. They're both positive. So these both are positive in the first quadrant. In the second quadrant, you have a negative x and a positive y. Why? Because you go to the left and then up to get the point in the second quadrant. Okay, over here in the third quadrant, both of them are negative. Negative x, negative y. You still have to know that. And in the fourth quadrant, x is positive and you have a negative y. Why? Because you go to the right and then down to get the point into the fourth quadrant. Now, we also need to talk about composing a circle inside the coordinate plane. So you start from here, that's 0 degrees, and then you go right here, that's 90 degrees, because it's makes a right angle right here. You keep on going, so you're going to have a right angle. If you keep going over here, that's going to be 180. Then you add another 90 over here. So all of these are right angles, actually. You should know that. And over here, that's 90, or you add 90 to 180 to get 270. And then you go back to 0, but if you make a whole circle, that's also 360. Okay, so if you're starting at 0, but then you come end up. So these two angles are called coterminal angles. So they're coterminal because they end up at the same side right here, the initial side. So then this is important information that you need to know and remember when you guys are doing what we're going to be doing today. XY is positive in the first quadrant, negative XY in the second, negative negative in the third, and X and a negative in the fourth. And then you also have to remember the major degrees, so 0, 90, 180, and 270, and then back to 360. So I want you to keep that in mind, okay?